you cannot not live out your dream life because other people aren't supporting you.
Hello and welcome to the Feminine as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Monica Yates, a period and ICF certified women's life coach, and I help women to harness the power of their period and connect to their feminine flow. In these episodes, we will be talking about all things periods, hormones, confidence, health, food, money, sex, business, feminine flow, your brain, energy, and all the stuff that goes through our heads. You will walk away from each episode with new chicken nuggets and truth bombs, as I don't have a filter and I love talking about all the shit that people are thinking but too afraid to say.
Hey friends, me again with a sick voice. First things first, can you guys please tell me whether you prefer shorter episodes or longer? Can you please send me a message on Instagram telling me, do you prefer short episodes or long ones with like so much juice in them? Because I'm a little bit unsure. I need to know. Okay, so I did like a sticker on Instagram, like I love doing, where you guys can ask questions that I answer on my podcast. So I'm going to run through a bunch of questions for today. We'll see how many we get through, and then maybe I'll pause it and do like a part 2. One of the first questions that I got, which is from Isabel, hey Isabel, is practicing saying no to what does not serve you so you can invite your worth in other ways. I love this question. How beautiful is that question? I'm going to repeat it. Practicing saying no to what does not serve you so that you can invite your worth in other ways. And there's a really short answer, a quick answer to this. It's about self-fucking-respect. It is about respecting yourself. So I was talking about this with one of my clients because she wanted to raise her hourly rate, but she was like, oh, but like, is it mean to raise it for the people that are already working with me, my clients that are already working with me? And I said, do you respect yourself or not? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, because right now you're in your head and you're not respecting yourself. I was like, do you want to up your rate? Will you show up as a better version of yourself? She was like, yes. And I was like, right. And she's like, and then the thing that's holding her back is literal fear of judgment. Okay. When you are doing things that does not serve you, it lowers your vibrational frequency. It creates resentment in whatever container that is in, whether it's you and your client, you and your boyfriend, you and your mum. If you don't say no when you want to, you create resentment in that relationship with that person or that thing, okay? Now, resentment is the killer of relationships. Okay, or things, okay? Resentment even is the killer of your passion for your job. So if you are doing things and you're having resentment doing them in your job, you'll end up hating your job. So practicing saying no to things that does not serve you, there is no quick fix to this, right? Because the bottom line is if you are a chronic people pleaser, you will find drawing boundaries to be very fucking difficult. But the only way to get better at them is practice. And you need to know that if someone does not like your boundary, that's on them, not on you. You are not responsible for other people's triggers or other people's issues or whatever, okay? And a lot of the time when you draw a boundary, it triggers people because they wish they did that. One of my clients in the academy actually, which is my business coaching group, she, my feminine business coaching group, it's not really business coaching, it's like feminine stuff in your business. She said to me, Monica, you trigger the fuck out of me the way that you have such strong boundaries. She's like, I need those. I was like, yeah. So she was well aware that it triggered her because she wants them. And that's really key. The things that trigger you, it's because they're actually telling you something. And your triggers are the doorway to growth, right? Even this morning, I poured my period blood in the garden and I put it on my Instagram story. That would have triggered the fuck out of some people, okay? That is their doorway to growth, because if you can't deal with your own blood, it's like, it's your fucking blood. Like, you touch it when you pull your tampon out or you pull your menstrual cup out. What's the difference? Like, and people would find that so disgusting. And I used to find that, if that was me a year ago watching someone, I'd be like, that is fucking ratchet. That is disgusting. Who does that? That's fucking gross. And now I'm like, who doesn't do it? Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, it's so witchy and fun. And I love my witchiness. So when you are not saying no when you want to, you are not valuing yourself, you're not respecting yourself, and you are not having pretty much any self-worth. So practicing to do that, Isabel, is literally that. You have to practice it and you have to do it again and again and again. And the more you do it, the more it becomes like a new common normal thing. So then you get used to it. It's literally as simple as that, okay? So it can be really hard in the beginning, but this is where you have to hold yourself and back yourself and trust yourself. And trust yourself that if somebody walks away because of your boundaries, that's on them, not on you. And you still have you, because you can't let go of you, okay? Okay. The next question. I'm going to go on to the next one that kind of relates to this. Tips on practicing to shut your ego up. You know what the best tip is? You got to pull it out and talk to it. Give it a fucking name. Hey, Bob. Yeah, Bob, what the fuck? What do you want to say to me today? And the Bob might be like, you're a fat shit. And be like, oh, okay, cool. That served you, not me. Bye, bitch. Like, you need to talk to your ego because it is not you. It is not your soul. It is the thing in your head that is running through, it is seeing out your limiting beliefs and it is seeing out the glasses of your own fucking shit. That's why you got to do the work, because when I don't really have any like much limiting beliefs at the moment, which I know might sound cocky to some of you, but I actually like really don't. Like when I do things now where people are like, what's the limiting belief around this? Like it's actually quite hard for me to find things. And the things that I will come up against in regards to limiting beliefs, I pick up so quickly that it is a limiting belief and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't buy into that. Or as my friend Madeline says, and I know she's listening to this, I've unsubscribed from that belief. So I'm like, I'm not available to it. Not available. Madeline's like, oh, I unsubscribe. It's like, bitch, that shit ain't on my mailing list anymore. Okay? That's what you guys got to roll with it. And like, I like to bring a little bit of funniness and humor into this. I feel like personal development can be so fucking like serious. Like, let's bring in some lightness into this shit, guys. Oh, fuck, I'm on 9% battery. Hold on, be right back. All right, we're back, babes. And I got some tea and I have Peanut next to me. Anyone that doesn't know Peanut, she's my little doggy. Well, she's not mine. She's like the family doggy. Aren't you, baby? Oh, you're so cute. I love you. And she's so warm. She just loves cuddles all the time. And it's so nice when I'm staying at home with my family because, oh, she's just like a fucking cuddle munchkin. Like, sometimes I forget she's a dog because, like, she actually is like a little baby. Like, I can't wait to have babies, guys. My poor husband, as soon as I meet him, I'm going to be like, baby time right now. Like, I just can't wait to be pregnant. Okay. Back to where I was. Probably shouldn't have said that on my podcast, but whatevs. I actually don't care. So, shutting up your ego, you literally need, it's not actually you. It's not your soul. So you need to, or what I was saying before was, that's why by doing the work, you actually eliminate a lot of your ego because you get more in touch with your soul. So it doesn't become a problem. And when I say doing the work, that does not mean reading a book. That means coming to one of my, like, not the 3-hour events that I do in, like, little events, but, like, coming to one of my big 3-day events or doing the mastermind or doing Queen Alchemy, or if you're a business person doing the academy, like, those things are really important. And no doubt probably next year in 2020, I'll have even more programs. Who the fuck knows? That's why doing the work is so fucking important. Okay, the next question is... I'd love to know more about feminine versus masculine flow. So what is the really important thing? I mean, I feel like I need to do a whole episode on this. So fuck that one. I'm gonna ask that as a question. And then I'm going to do a whole entire episode on that actually, because because you guys loved that one that I did when I recorded it in New York, the first time I was there this year, about feminine versus masculine. So I'm going to do a whole other one on that because I feel like I talk about it so much in the mastermind and Queen Alchemy, but then not that much with you guys. So I'll do that. Okay. Would love it if you shared your knowledge on nutrition and where most people could improve. Oh, I'm going to do a podcast episode about vegetable oil because I feel like that's a really big thing people don't understand. So I'll do a nutrition episode about like eating high vibe. That'll be fun. I'll do that. Okay. Next question. Staying true to this is kind of all with a good theme. Staying true to your goals when people try to conversation nice you not to. I think she means basically staying true to your goals when other people are trying to tell you not to. This is the thing. When you are listening to other people, you are not standing with boundaries. You have no self-respect for yourself and you are letting other people control your life. That's why you don't have the life you want to be living, because so far for your whole life, you're living everybody else's life and not your own. Now, I get this is really hard when you're in relationships or with your family, but the bottom line is if they are meant, I really truly believe this, and like you can believe whatever you want, but this is me. If they are meant to be the one or those soul friends, they will support you no matter what. They won't judge you for your crazy ideas or for your crazy ambitions. They just love and support you. Now, a comment with that I do want to say is I feel like a lot of people don't do what they want to do because their dad especially or their parents are like, oh, like, shouldn't you go do like, you know, like commerce at Melbourne? And you're like, haha, no. And they're like, come on, you need safety. Like, you know, it's a good paying job, like working in business. Like if you get a commerce degree, it's a good backup plan. Now, in the beginning of you having your own dream life, they might not support you. Does not mean they don't love you, right? Really important. People not supporting you doesn't mean they don't love you. A lot of the time, it's because they're looking through their own limiting beliefs. So they are just worried about you and they just want you to be safe. This happens a lot with people's dads, where we perceive that our dad doesn't love us or he doesn't think that we can be a period coach. And it's not that he doesn't think that. It's actually that because their first need is like protection and providing. So they want us to be safe, especially like when you're a daddy's little girl, when you're their daughter, like they really, really care about you, right? Now, he just wants you to be safe, but we can perceive it as though dad doesn't love us, not the fucking truth. So what can happen is in the beginning of you pursuing your dreams, whether it's like going to a crazy event where they're like, what the fuck are you going to New York for a stupid chicks event that you met off Instagram, whether it's that, okay, or whether it's you quitting your job and doing your dream job or whatever it is, it doesn't mean that people are like hating you for doing it. Often it's actually that they want you to be safe. And what it can mean is that for a little bit, you don't have their 100% support. However, as long as you have your own support and you trust yourself and you back yourself, you will succeed. And once they can see that you have safety and security in that job, like the new life or whatever you got for yourself, then they will come back and support you. And it's kind of hard to explain, but it's really important that you guys understand that you cannot not live out your dream life because other people aren't supporting you. Because then how many times in your life are you going to stop yourself from doing things that you really want to do because you don't have support? You are the only person that can give support to yourself. So if you are not supporting yourself, that is the first step of the whole thing. Because if you are relying on other people's support, you will never fully be able to go where you want to go. Does that make sense? Okay, I feel like that was really fucking juicy. That was super juicy. So that is that. So basically, how to stay true to your goals. You got to trust yourself and you got to stay true to them, okay? You got to understand that those people, you're basically living out other people's stories, and if you continue to do this, you're going to continue to live a very limited fucking life. Another person wrote archetypes. Now, I go through, I'll do maybe an episode on this later, but Queen Alchemy, we do a fuck ton of archetypes. So if you want to learn a lot about archetypes, then your best bet is joining Queen Alchemy, because we do stuff on the witch archetype, mother, queen, lover, and then also Amazon warrior woman. Okay, we go into lots of depth and we go through all the wounding and the empowered and the over-empowered versions of them and all that sort of stuff. It's really fucking juicy. I actually love doing stuff about the archetypes. It's really, really fun. So, and I find it helps people a lot because they kind of see it as another version of them, and so they don't have so much judgment towards themselves, which is awesome. So they actually get further. So the next round of Queen Alchemy, ladies, will be starting very end of September. Intake will be September-ish. So make sure that you are on the wait list for that. I'll put the link in the description so that you can join that program. And you'll then get an email when we open so that you can join the next round of it, which will start in September, and then everything will be finished before that December Christmassy thing. However, around Christmas time, I am going to launch like a Christmassy sort of like group program thing. Pretty chill. It's basically going to be about like staying true to you, having your boundaries, standing in your power over that difficult time. A lot of people slip a lot during Christmas because of triggers and wounds and being around family and people pleasing. So I'm basically going to do a program of like how to thrive during Christmas and that whole New Year's time. So if you do want to join that, keep a lookout for that, because that will be really fucking fun and a beautiful support system over that time, which can be a little bit triggering and hard for people. Okay. Another question is, so I'm going to answer that one. Another one. I did that. All things birth control, not just the pill. So I've done a birth control. Oh, I've done the pill. Okay, I will do another episode on birth control. If you want to come off birth control, make sure you get my masterclass for that. However, by the time this is out, it will have been closed unless it's out before the 14th of August, and I'm going to open it for 24 hours when I'm on a plane to Aspen. I will open that for whilst I'm traveling, and people can join it, and then it'll be closed again. Okay, what else can I answer in this one that might be So self-love, I really feel like with self-love, that's a good question. I really feel like with self-love, a lot of people think that like, oh, but I'm like doing, at home face masks and I'm like, I don't know, meditating and eating healthy. Like that's all great, but the self-love isn't actually, well, I find it's not actually about that. It's about what the fuck is going on in your brain. Because you can be doing all that physical self-love, but if your brain is like, you're not good enough, you don't deserve this, you're a terrible person, you don't deserve to be here, blah, 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 then like that's actually what you need to work on. Self-love at the crux of it is actually that mindset stuff. It's really about reprogramming your subconscious brain, not just about like having a bath. Okay, because that shit lasts 2 seconds. It's really about honoring your insides before even your outsides. Because when you honor your insides, honoring your outsides is like really natural, and you don't have to like put aside time for like, oh, self-love on a Sunday night. Right, Peanut? Oh, fuck, she's so cute. I wish you guys could see the way she's sitting. I just want to eat you. I just want to eat you, baby. Oh, fuck me. Okay. So with self-love, it's really about doing the mindset work, okay? Now, another question is about quantum leaping. I might do a whole other podcast. Oh my God, guys, it's going to get so juicy. Okay, we're going to probably do more shorter podcasts because there's just like so many juicy questions, and I kind of feel like it's easier for you guys to then search podcasts when they're shorter because you're like, oh, this one's about quantum leaping, not like it's about quantum leaping and this and periods and this. So, okay, I'll answer this one as the last one because it kind of like fits into this one. And then I'll do another one. Your top daily routine tips and habits we should break. Fuck shoulds is the first thing. When you put like shoulds in things, it automatically says that what you're doing is wrong. And that like something else is like, like what you're doing is wrong or that you should do something. It's putting a very yuck energy around things. Can you guys feel that? It's just a bit yuck, okay? So one, fuck shoulds, okay? Now, the only habits that, okay, I'm going to go through my things, but I want to reiterate, I'm not the coach that tells you this is how you must do things. I want you guys to feel what feels good for you. That is how I teach. Speaking of which, I'm opening up a certification next year. I know, it's fucking happening. I'm really excited. I need to think of like an epic fucking name. But yeah, it's happening because I have so much request for it. And then I put a poll up on Instagram and it was like fucking went spastic. So that will be happening. So make sure that you guys start saving up if you want to be doing that. Now, my daily routine is I don't have one. I get asked this a lot actually on other people's podcasts when they're interviewing me. I don't have a daily routine because I find as soon as you have this strict ass daily morning fucking routine, as soon as you don't do it, you then feel guilty about yourself. And when you have this strict morning routine, it's very masculine, it's very to-do, it's very like structured. And that might work for some people. It worked with me for a while, but then I didn't like it anymore, okay? So I don't have a strict morning routine. I do everything about what I'm feeling like doing. So this morning, I've been feeling very like tired lately, obviously, because I've been sleeping like 10 hours, which is a very long time for me. Usually I'm up at 5:30 and I woke up this morning at nearly 8 o'clock and that was like me dragging myself out of bed. But now I'm really high vibe, so whatevs. Anyway, I went on the treadmill and I watched a masterclass from my coach on the treadmill, and then I did some Pilates, and then I had breakfast and I journaled and I poured my blood in the garden and I burnt some manifestation things. But every day it's changing. And then on Sunday, right, I was in my pajamas until like maybe 1 p.m. because I literally woke up and I was on the phone messaging back and forth with my video editor about my New York video, which is so fucking beautiful. Like I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop watching it. Like obsessed. We were back and forth editing that because she lives in New Zealand, so the time difference. So I needed to be on that. So I didn't do anything the day beforehand. So it really, really varies. And I actually like that because it means that I don't put pressure on myself and I really get to flow with what I need to do at that time. So generally speaking, what I love to do is read for an hour or even half an hour first thing in the morning. I love having a green tea in bed, reading my book that I'm reading at the moment. That really sets my day up in a really, really, really relaxing way. But I've been super busy lately, so I haven't been able to do it. But hopefully I can start doing that. Hopefully I've already started doing this by the time that is out because I've hired somebody else. So I've got a new intern, which is really exciting. And so, yeah, that's kind of my daily routine really, really varies. But I guess some things that are in my toolbox, my daily routine, is things like cacao elixirs, dancing, journaling, burning things, meditating, doing my reprogramming tracks, jade egg practices, what else? Morning sex if I'm seeing someone's always really good. What else? Having a bath if possible. I love when I have a bath when I'm traveling in the morning. It's just like super fucking bougie. I feel like it's the most luxurious thing ever. Breakfast, obviously. Oh, I love exercising. I love exercising in the morning. I'm definitely a morning exerciser, not an evening. However, what I have found is that if I am a bit more stressed or a bit more run down than usual, if I exercise in the afternoon, I'll get a better workout in because I've got more energy rather than exercising first thing in the morning. It can deplete me a little bit. So just monitoring what works for you guys. What else? What else? That's kind of my morning routine, really. And like pulling tarot cards and that sort of stuff. Then I start work. And then some habits that we quote unquote should break. This is really up to you, but for some things that are not going to be healthy is like self-sabotage, is you being in your head, like all that inner work. Also like if you're addicted to sugar, that's also a really big one that you want to get rid of. Any other habits? What other habits? Like, it totally depends on what feels good for you and what doesn't feel good for you. Like, you know the habits that you should fucking break and you haven't done them yet because you're like, there's some fucking reason why you're attaching yourself to them, so you don't want to let them go. So that's a really, like, habits are a fucking mindset thing. And I don't really have any bad habits. Like I couldn't think of one. Okay, my only bad habit I think that I have is one, according to some people, I'm very fucking messy. That would be a bad habit, is that like I can be pretty fucking messy. Another bad habit would be that I tend to like leave things until the last minute to book things. And then I'm like, fuck, I should have booked that weeks ago and I would have saved myself like hundreds of dollars, but I ended up booking it at the last minute for some reason. That is probably my bad habit, that I always wait till the last minute and I just assume like, oh yeah, they'll have an appointment for me tomorrow. And they're like, oh, it's 2-week wait. I'm like, what the fuck? That's what my only bad habit. But like everyone's different, right? So yeah, like you know your bad habits and you're holding on to them because they're giving you something fucked up. But you need to let them go. Okay. And that's a mindset thing that we can work on. All right. I'm going to leave this episode there and then I'm going to do another one about some of the other questions, that you guys have asked about. Yay. Make sure that you have subscribed. Make sure that you've bought your New York tickets if you haven't already. If you've got any questions, you can send an email to manager@monicayates.com.au, or send me a DM and I'll forward you on. Any questions about New York, please send them to our inbox. We will help you with we will help you with fucking everything, so it feels really comfortable and really beautiful for you to come. All right, I love you all. Bye. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got lots of chicken nuggets out of today's episode. I would be really, really grateful if you'd be able to leave me a review and a star rating that you think is appropriate, hopefully 5. And if you could share this podcast so that I can help more women live a life of flow and ease, I would be so fucking grateful. Make sure you tag me in it on Instagram so I can personally thank you, because I know so many of my clients have found me literally because their friends have posted about my podcast on their Instagram story. And I just want to help as many women as possible. So by you sharing it, I would be so fucking grateful, and I'm sure your friends would be too. If you do want to welcome me, please do check out my website for all those details. And of course, you can DM me on Instagram with any other questions. If you have any podcast things you want me to talk about, any ideas, any feedback, I am always open to it. And I always love hearing what you guys have to say. So please don't hesitate about that either. I will catch you on the flip side. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are.